Yes friends, now let us see join method which is used to resume a thread and it is going to re-execute the part of code from which it has been resumed. Okay, that is very important. Now let us see join method. What is the main purpose of this join method? Let me tell to you, it's very important. Okay, it's very important. Only some small twist is there. If you focus on that one, it will be very easy to you. Okay, I will make that one very simple to you. You have to concentrate for a while. Okay, see, in order to make a particular thread, or else in order to make a particular thread to wait, okay, in order to make a particular thread to wait, in order to make a particular thread to wait until completing other thread. Other thread means here only one thread. That is the trick here. That's it. Until completing other thread execution. Okay. Here other thread means you have to think about it. Only one thread. Okay. That is important here. That's the trick here. And we are going to see this one. And now see here we are having two threads. Like what? This is what? Thread 1. And this is what? Thread T2. Now think that thread 1, this is the trick. This is first trick. You have to focus. This is for guys who are new to this join method, and also guys who are having knowledge on this one, also doing mistakes. Okay, let it be. It's our duty to do mistakes and learn, but not to repeat them. Okay, no one is born with anything. Okay, now here T1, T2. So if T1 thread has to wait until T1 thread has to think that T1 job, this is thread, right? Now T1 is having job like this, like 100 lines of code, and T1 was at this 10th line now. Okay, it is at 10th line, and T2 is also having the job of 50 lines independent code, 50 lines of code. It is going to get executed by whom? T2. It is going to get executed by T1. Okay, now T1 has to wait until completing the T2 thread execution. See that in order to make a particular thread to wait until completing other thread execution, then we have to go for this one. Then how to use means this is single trick. Other trick is what? Now T1 has to wait until completing T2 thread. What is the meaning of that one? Do you know? I have to wait until completing T2 thread means now T1 thread should, okay, T1 thread should call, this is the trick here, call join method. Okay, join method on T2 thread reference, T2 thread reference. Okay, let it be this thread name is thread 1 and this one as thread 2, and let it be T1 is the reference. To make you guys, I have put like that. Okay, understand me. So if T1 thread, if T1, like okay, it is this scenario. What is that scenario? If T1 has to wait until completing, okay, scenario is what here? If T1 has to wait until completing, if T1 has to wait, okay, has to wait until T2 thread execution completes. Execution completes, meaning is what? This is execution. Execution completes. What's the meaning here? It has to wait until T2 thread executes its job or executes its piece of code, or until it goes into dead state simply. Okay, that is the meaning. Okay, now what you have to do? T1 thread should call join method on T2 thread reference. How to call this one? Wherever the piece of code which is going to get executed by T1 thread, within that piece of instructions you have to put this statement. What is that statement? What is that statement means? T2. What is that statement means? What is that statement means? T2 dot join. That's it. What is the meaning of this one means? Our T1 will wait until until, okay, now T1 will wait until T2 thread completes its execution. That's it, guys. Okay, that's the trick here. Nothing great here. One trick is what? If other thread has to wait until completing one other thread, if a thread has to wait until completing other thread's job or other thread execution gets complete, then if you want to make that thread to wait, you have to call what? Simply, if a thread wants to wait until completing other thread execution, means you have to call on that thread reference join method. Okay, we have to call on that thread reference, join method, where you have to call this on thread reference join method which thread has to wait. This is the trick here, which is invisible to you. You have to be very specific here. That is very important here. Okay, that is the trick here. And before I do go, and before this is what? T1 will wait until T2 thread completes its execution. Okay, understand? Okay, understand this one, its execution. Okay, now let us go for what? Let us go for, we are having how to use this join method, means we are having a final, this and all instance methods are final from our, which are available in our thread class, in our parent, that is in package thread class. What is the signature of them? Let us see. Very important to us. Okay, so what are those prototypes? Means join method prototypes which are available in our thread class. Okay, what are those? Public, final, void, join, which is having no arguments, which throws what? Interrupted exception. Okay, which is checked exception. Whenever you do use this method in any of the methods, you have to handle this exception. Very important. I am going to put it as a notice to you. No need to worry. Okay, interrupted exception. Okay, and what is the other method? It is also final method. Meaning is what? In our child class we cannot do overriding. Getting? Please understand me. Okay, now final void, join method with single argument. What is that type? Primitive long, milliseconds. It also throws interrupted exception. Understand? Okay, it also throws interrupted exception. And what is the other method? It is also one of the overloaded method and final. So overriding is not possible in our child class. Okay, so what is that method? Join, primitive long. Okay, it's not capital, don't get confused. Okay, and other one is what? Int nanoseconds, which also throws interrupted exception. These were the prototypes of our join method. We have to understand these methods in proper. There is lots of implementations within this join method. I'm going to make it very clear to you. Okay, now when we have to use these methods, if a particular thread wants to wait until execution of other thread completes, then only we have to use these threads. Meaning is what? If there is a thread like T1, okay, and there is a thread like T2. Now this T1 thread has to wait. Think that it is the implementation of T1. Okay, it is having some pieces of line, and this T2 is also having some instructions. Please don't get confused with these statements. Okay, now T1 has to wait until completing the execution of T2 thread. This thread has to wait. Okay, think that this thread has to wait until completing of this thread, until after completing the end statement, which is the instructions should get executed by T2. Okay, after completing the execution of last instruction by T2 thread, then this thread has to start execution. Then the control should come to T1. Okay, it's very, very important. So first what is that? First the control should be come here after executing all these statements. Then the control should come here. You getting? So for that what we have to do? The thread which has to wait until completing the execution of other thread, this thread has to wait. This thread has to call join method on that thread reference in its area. That is very important. Okay. Now which statement should be written over here? It is so simple. It has to call like what? T2 dot join. Okay. That's the thing. Okay, this is the exact thing. Please observe this thing carefully. We have to use these things. Okay, let us go and develop the piece of code there. Okay, now see here, I am going to take one class called as what? class A extends thread, okay, and I am going to take one more, class B extends what? Thread, okay, and I am going to take one more class, what? Class C extends what? Thread. Why I am taking thread? I will tell you. Each and every class instance going to represent one thread, okay. Now see here, I am going to take the base class, that is the driven method program, as what? Driven method class is what? A class, okay. Now let me take what? Public static void main, okay. Now what is going to get happen? You just try to look at over here, okay. Now B, so I am going to create one static variable of type capital B, that is B. For that I am going to create an instance, and I am going to assign that reference to this B. I am going to use this one in future, that's why I am doing this one, okay. Public static void main inside this B, and I am going to create one more static variable of type what? C, okay, of type what? Small c, okay. Try to understand, it is small c, okay, no need to get confused, okay. Now small c is equals to what? New B, okay. Now what I am going to do here is, now let us create an instance for A is equals to new A. We are going to see some sequence of output here, than that nothing here, okay. But a single thread is going to get wait until completion of other thread. That is the trick here. How to write that one is very important. Only toothpaste, so that you can be very comfort in it, okay. Now see here, now I am going to call what here? A dot start, okay. Of course in this main method. Now the control will come to run method of this particular overridden, or else thread class run method, right. So what I am going to do here is, it is so simple, just override. If you want to make that thread to execute your implementation, means you have to override run method, and you have to put that set of statements in our run method. So simple, please, okay. Now so before this piece of code is going to get execute, I want to make this thing that this is thread 0, okay. It is what? Thread 0, okay. Now this thread I am going to put name as something name, okay. No need to get confused. First understand the concept at all corners. Later we'll go for examples. You can go for examples. You can write any number of examples on your own, please, okay. Now see here, thread 0. Let me put what? SOP off. Let me give as what? First thread, okay. Like first thread, okay. First thread got chance, and later what I am going to do here, do you know? Think that I have one. After this A dot of start, I am going to call what? B dot of start. After that I am going to call C dot of start. It's very, very important. Now what is going to get happen here? You have to analyze. That is what? Very, very important. Now see here, A dot of start, because of this one run method is going to get execute. Now B dot of start also is there, so let me override what? Run methods here, okay, in order to execute our customized piece of code. Public void what? Run, okay. And let me put what is this? SOP of what? Second thread, okay. Second thread got chance, okay. Second thread got chance, okay. And let me put once again here, let it be here what? Let me take what? Join methods now, okay. Let me take join methods. Now the story is our mystery thing is going to get start, okay. Third thread, okay. Third thread got chance, okay. Why like a fool I am writing this piece of code? Means I can show just by taking 2 threads. What if the case if it is like 3 threads? Then only you are going to know the concept of this join. That's why I am taking this one. Then that nothing. Don't feel like it's a waste, okay. Nothing is waste here. Whatever I am presenting in front of you, okay. Now so A dot of start. Now this first thread, this thread 0 has to wait until completing the execution of this B thread. Getting? Now, what is if T1 has to wait until T2 completion, what it has to do on T2, it has to call join method in its area, right? Now, this is what? An imaginary area. This is what? A thread area which is going to get executed by thread 0. So, here you have to call what? You have to call what? It has to wait until completing the work of B thread. So, B thread reference is what? This one, right? On B dot join, you have to call B dot join. That's it. This thread will get hold for a while. This thread is going to get hold for a while. That is very, very important. Now, it is throwing what? One checked exception, right? Interrupted exception. So, please maintain what? Maintain what, guys? I mean, what? That is what? Try catch, okay? Now, you just put what here? Catch block. Like what? Interrupted exception, okay? Now, after waiting, it has to print some statement, right? So, what I am going to do here is, I will take one iterative statement, okay? Let me take here as what? Int I is equals to 1, while I is less than or is equals to 5, okay? SOP of what? First, I plus plus, okay? Till 5 it is going to get print, okay? And of course, what I am going to do here is, I am going to take thread dot sleep for 1 second. Please focus. It is also going to throw checked exception. For that also I have maintained catch block, okay? Now, this is what our main method run, okay? Sorry, this A class run method, okay? This is for run method, this is for class, okay? Now what is going to get happen? This piece of code is not here, honestly speaking, but I wrote like a fool. Please don't get confused. So, B dot join, it will wait, that's it. It will wait until the completion of which thread? This thread. Now, the control will come into this run method. Now, once again, I am going to write some piece of code here. Once again, this thread has to wait until completion of C thread. So, how I can get that? C class thread reference. How I can to get that one? It is what? Static, right? By using class name, I can get that I can get that static reference, right? It is so simple. So, what you have to do? A dot C, okay? A dot C dot join, okay? Join, that's it. Than that, nothing. But this method is throwing what? Checked exception, interrupted exception. So, surround it with try and catch. Handle it, okay? Like what? Try. After that, what you are going to do here? You put that within the catch block, interrupted exception, okay? Now, see here once, guys. See here once, okay? Now, this is what? End of the run method and B class, okay? Now, so the same thing. To make you guys aware of that one, I am going to make this thread sleep for some period of time like that, okay? Now, what we are going to do here? Same thing. Int I is equals to 1, okay? While I is less than or equals to 5. What is here, guys? SOP of, same thing. Nothing changed here. What is that? Second, okay? Second plus I, okay? Plus I plus, okay? Plus I plus. That's it, okay? And please make this thread to sleep to make feel very good, okay? That's it. The same story. Now, which point you have to understand here and which point I want you guys to focus much is this point, okay? This point, okay? And other one is what? This one. Another one is what? Nothing here. This is very, very important. See here, in B class, I have used an C class thread reference to make this B thread to wait until completing the execution of that C class thread. That is very, very important. I have said to you earlier itself, okay? And this one also, okay? Now, you have to focus here. So, now the control, now the application is going to get hold here. It will come to this one. Now, here what I am going to do here is third thread. It is thread, guys, okay? third thread got chance directly print. This thread is not required to wait for anything. Okay, int I is equals to 1, I is less than or is equals to 5. What is this? SOP of directly print it. No issues here. No issues here. Okay, no need to make that one wait here. Okay, no need to make this particular thread to wait. What is this? Third. Okay, and what is this? I place place. Okay, and end of this one, end the run method and the class. Okay, now let us go and trace the output according to the concept. That is very important. Honestly, this is OCJP bit. Okay, that's what I have presented in front of you. Okay, now this is what class C, this is what run method. Now let us go and trace the output. So now it will come here. Main method is going to get execute happily. After that date of start, it will come here. What is going to get print here? First thread got chance. First thread got chance. Now let us trace the output. As I said earlier, what is that? We don't know which thread is going to get chance first, but because of these join methods, each and every thread is going to get wait until first which thread is going to get execute? This thread, guys. That is C class thread. Thread 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we are going to see. Before that, we are having one statement here, right? Third thread got chance, second thread got chance, and first thread got chance. So because of this A dot start, the control will come to here, right? What is this? First thread got chance, and we are having B dot start and C dot start. We don't know which thread is going to get execute first, but thing is what? We are calling join method on each and every thread references, right? In order to make a particular thread to wait until completing the execution of other thread. Think that these three statements, what is that? First thread got chance, second thread got chance, okay, and third thread got chance. This thing we cannot predict. It is what? Unpredictable. Okay, unpredictable. Okay, but we can predict remaining output. Why? Because we are having this join method. This is join method in each and every run method, because it is going to wait until completing execution of other thread. Now think that this one got the chance, or else this one got the chance first, or else this one got the chance first, whatever it get the chance. Think that if this one getting the chance means it is going to wait until B thread. B means what? This one, right? B means this one. It will wait until completion of this one. Okay, now the control will come here. Okay, it will wait until B thread completes its execution, and it will come here. Second thread has been completed, that we have printed. Now what is going to get happen? In turn, this thread is waiting for until it will wait until execution gets complete for C thread. Okay, so after completion of this particular thing, what is the output? So first what you should see? Third 1 till 5. Third 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After this thread execution completes, that is run method execution completes, it will go and give the control to this one. The control will be here. And what is this? It will execute this one. What is this? Second 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this will be there. Okay, and also we are having sleep method here. Here we don't have any sleep method. I didn't make that one. Okay, if you want, we can put, no issues. Okay, let me put what? Sleep method also here. Okay, let me take what? Try. Okay, and let me take what? Catch here. Okay, what is that? Interrupted exception E. Okay, so within this while loop, let me call what? Thread dot sleep method. Okay, now try to observe the concept carefully, guys. It's very important. Concept is very, very important. Okay, now, okay, so each and every display of a phrase over the console, it will be having waiting time. Okay, now after that, second thread execution completes, the thread, it has been resumed here, right? That is what I have said, how to resume a thread and how to re-execute a thread. That is what these methods, that is very, very important. Okay, now the control will come once again here. It will start executing this one. First for 1, first for 2, and it will sleep. First for 3, it will sleep. First for 4, it will sleep. First for 5, like that it will sleep, and it will till 5. Okay, and there we'll be seeing what, guys? We'll be seeing what? Waiting time between each and every printing statement. Okay, now this is unpredictable thing, but this is our main aim to get concentrate here. This order is must. Okay, we have customized the order. Now let me go and execute the same piece of code. Whatever I have written over here, the same piece of code I am going to execute now. Now please concentrate here. I have developed the same piece of code, but one thing at C class, let me take what? Try block. Okay, let me take what? Try and catch. Okay, interrupted exception. Okay, interrupted exception, let it be like what? E. Okay, and okay, interrupted exception. Okay, and within this let me call what? Thread dot. Okay, thread dot sleep for how many seconds? Just 1 second. Okay, now let us go and run this piece of code. Before that, let me compile this piece of code. Okay, where it is? In desktop. Okay, Java C, it is class A, right? I have saved this one with class A. Okay, I have saved this class, this source file with name as what? Java, class A. Same piece of code, you can just look at over here. Whatever I have written overboard, even the variable names also same. Nothing I changed. Nothing to get confused here. You just understand the concept. Writing code will be very simple. Okay, now let me go and compile that a dot java, and let me run this one. Try to observe the screen. One second. You have to understand this one very properly, guys. That is very, very important to you. Okay, okay, now what is this? Java A. You have to observe the output. Try to observe the screen carefully. I don't know first things which will get predict, but third should be first, and after that second should be, after that first should be. Getting and these three statements, as I said earlier, I don't know, I cannot predict the order, right? That's why I have said to you, this thing we cannot predict. And what it is? First, still it is not getting terminate. Of course, it has been terminated. Okay, now see, these three things you cannot predict, guys. Okay, let me execute once again. First, third, and later. See here, later second thread got chance here. That's very, very important. You have to be very specific about those things. Okay, getting, that's why see here, look at over here. This thing, as I said, it is unpredictable output. This thing you can predict because of join methods. Still we are having some more scenarios about this join, but before I do wind up this session, you have to remember only one thing. Here there will be one thread. Okay, if that thread has to wait until completing some other thread execution, means within this piece of code you have to call join method. And which thread? Until completing some other thread, this thread has to wait, right? On that thread it has to call what? Join method. Why here I have taken a.c.join means what? It is static thing here. So without creating an instance, I am going to access this one. Okay, than that nothing. Okay, please try to focus on this one. Okay, and that's it. And we are going to see some more scenarios in coming session. Okay.